Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a kind of like, is it worth it dupe video. The KYLIE the bronze palette looks like. It is just full of really pretty warm tone colors. And so I kind of scoured my collection looking for exact dupes and then really put this product to the test to see if it's worth the hassle of trying to get this biatch. You're not sitting by your computer within the first 30 seconds that it goes live, it's sold out. So that's kind of why I'm doing this video, is because I wanted to let you guys know that if you can't get a hold of this, or if you have a teenage daughter who really likes the Kardashians and wants this palette, hopefully I can find you some affordable dupes that are more accessible, and we'll see about this product. Okay, so this is Kylie Jenner, the bronze palette, and it's called the Kai Shadow, which I thought it's kind of cute. This retails for, oh my gosh, I don't even remember, like $45 plus like $9 in shipping. So I think my total was around $50, and I did pay for this myself. They don't send me shit. These really gorgeous, this is mainly a matte palette except for 2 shades, which that kind of like makes me want it if it's all matte. If there's a palette that's all shimmer, I totally pass, even if it's like has like Justin Timberlake's pubes on it, because I just can't get a lot of use out of it. A palette that's functional and I don't have to use other palettes with it. Do you know what I'm saying? So even if it was like sweated upon by like Chris Brown or something, I might have to pass. It does have all of the shades on the back of the palette, but I did find some exact dupes. I think there is one shade in here that I could not find a dupe for. Is a really creamy white, and that is called Jasper. So if you can see, it has, the pigmentation is nuts. That is Jasper. It's just a really nice pigmented creamy white. Sometimes you can't find those. So the one dupe that I have from MAC is called Blanc Type, and this is a pretty much dead on match. So that's Jasper, that's MAC's Blanc Type, more beige, and then this is a little bit more pink. So I mean, but you're not going to be able to tell that on the eye anyways. Next shimmery shade is called Quartz, and this shade has some shimmer to it. So that is MAC's Quartz. You're not going to be able to tell. It's a very, very light kind of pink champagne shade. And I have 2 shades here from MAC. One is Arena, and this is pretty much a dead on dupe for that shade, an exact dupe. So that's Arena, and that is Quartz from the Kai palette. I also have All That Glitters here, which I think is pretty much dead on as well. I mean, almost All That Glitters is, gosh, you won't, I don't think you'll be able to tell. So that's All That Glitters, Arena, and that is the Quartz shade. You can see how they're so similar. I mean, you could probably get, since MAC shadows right now are $6 if you get them like in the drop-ins, you could probably get an exact dupe of MAC shade. The last shade right here is called Topaz, and this is probably a really nice crease shade. I wore it today buffed out. That is Topaz right there. I wore this to kind of like buff out like the edges. Kind of has like a mauve-y undertone. Like it almost has that taupey gray undertone. It's really pretty. For the dupe, I have this compact here from H&M, and this is called Candid Almonds. That is Candid Almond, and that is Topaz. Really similar, really similar. The other one that I found was Makeup Geek's Latte. This is a shade that I just die over every time I wear it. I freaking love it. It's a dupe, but if you can see how this one is a little bit warmer, I guess. So that's not really a dupe. That was a really dumb dupe. Second row, I have Tiger's Eye, which is the second shimmery shade, and that's what I'm wearing in the middle of my eye today, the middle of my lid. This one, again, this one was kind of hard to find a dupe for because it's like this pewtery bronze color. Off the top of my head, MAC's Bronze comes to mind, but this has more of like a pinky undertone to it, and MAC's Bronze is more of a bronze undertone, so it just, I don't think it would have worked, and I don't think I have anything here. Okay, so this one is called Citrine. I hope I'm saying these right. That is the burnt orange right there. And MAC's Roll is pretty much dead on. isn't super hard to find, but that is citrine and that is MAC's Rule. I guess that has a little bit more coral to it. It's called Goldstone, which is right there. It is pretty much a matte warm brown tone color. Really pretty. Gosh, it almost has some like purpley undertones to it. Isn't that weird? Such a warm color almost have like a coolness factor to it. Being latte, which I already showed you, but latte is very similar to this one when you blend it out. Or if you get a really good swatch of it, it's super similar. It's from the Too Faced Natural Matte. This shade right here is gorgeous. It's called Chocolate Cookie. That one is really similar too. Like almost dead on. So that is Chocolate Cookie from Too Faced. That's the Kai shadow in Goldstone. And then that is Latte. Very last shade, or the very last row. This one is called, oh, I'm gonna have to pronounce it, Obsidian. I think that is a really pretty warm, burnt red brown color. Very, very creamy. All of these shades in here are really creamy, as that is. That is Obstinate, or I wanna say like obstetrician. A couple of dupes. The first one is Brown Script from MAC. So that is Obsidian, that is Brown Script. This has a little bit more of like a mauve undertone to it. See, this is Nuts About You from, we're just gonna go. So this is the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. This is Nuts About You. That is not very close. Very close, but what I was thinking that like if you wanted to mix two together, you could mix Wild West from Makeup Geek. So if you can see, this is Wild West, which is almost an exact dupe for this KYLIE shadow. And then these two are semi-similar to this. This one brings out the red tones of the Obsidian color, and then the Wild West brings out like the dark, more mauve tones. So you could mix these two right here to get this one. If you really, really are a die-hard wanting to get this palette and can't grab it, or you're not in front of your computer just salivating, then, you know, that's an option. So you're welcome. Bronzite, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's this middle dark chocolate brown color. That is that shade. Really pretty, very, very reminiscent of MAC's Handwritten. Rich Brown from Anastasia. I think that this is pretty much a dead match. That is, what is it, Rich Brown? Yeah, Rich Brown. And then I also have here Americano from Makeup Geek. That is the Rich Brown, and then the KYLIE shadow. So you can see this is a very, very dupeable palette. Very last shade is just a typical black color, which I did not think needed to be duped because I feel like how hard is it to find a good matte black? It's not at all. They're like a dime a dozen and pretty much in any palette that you buy these days. So my final thoughts, like Jerry Springer, on this palette. Quality of the shadows are fantastic. They're all super creamy, especially the light color in here, which sometimes you don't find very, very light shades to have packed full of pigment. That's kind of why I wanted to show you dupes, is because, you know, even though this palette is, I would say, pretty good, you can find dupes. I think the quality is kind of on par to like a Makeup Geek palette. I can get the exact same quality from something like this that ranges from the same price, that doesn't sell out in seconds, and that is a little bit more easy to get a hold of than this palette. Get a hold of the palette, I would suggest buying it if you want to sit in front of your computer and, you know, refresh and get it. I mean, go for it, because I do think it's a nice palette to own. Like when we go on vacation, I will probably only bring this palette because you can get so many different looks. But I hope this has helped you out. You know that there are dupes out there, and if you like just like a couple colors in this palette, then there's pretty much exact dupes that I showed you. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think, if this even helped you out. Who knows if it did. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.